On this episode of Tower Topics, we're braving the cold for a one-of-a-kind roller coaster challenge. FYE Coasters is back with their 6th annual WinterFest event, daring fans to ride Mystic Timbers in summer attire. Join us as we hear from the organizer and get ready to freeze and fly.
He's Ryan, I'm Don, and welcome to another episode of Tower Topics.
Tower Topics is available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Kings Island. All right, without further ado, the founder of FYE Coasters, the man behind the t-shirts in the cold. He's a shorts in December kind of guy if I've ever met one. Let's welcome FYE Coasters founder Josh Tyler to the forum. Welcome, Josh.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's been a while since I've been on the show. I'm a weekly and daily watcher whenever you guys release new episodes because I am a member.
Well, we're also big fans of your channel and, watch it every chance that I get. You put out a lot of great content, but let's start, for our listeners who may not be familiar. Can you explain what this event, the Polar Plunge, is and how it all got started?
Okay, so the Polar Plunge, as the name states, we do something kind of crazy. We ride Mystic Timbers in the middle of winter. Well, if you want to call it that. When we ride it in winter with our summer attire on, so shorts, t-shirts. Some people even wear flip-flops, and we brave the cold. We wait in line, and we ride the coaster, all wearing our summer attire. And this event did start in 2019. Um, we just did it to wanted something to do, and no one did anything like it, so why not?
All right. So you mentioned, 2019. So this will be the sixth time you've done it because you didn't have it in 2020 with COVID. But how has the event kind of evolved, over the years? Getting more awareness or new people to try it, or you have somebody that comes every single year. But how has it kind of evolved?
All right, so I believe one year, it was actually like raining and it was a little cold, so we actually did not even fill a whole train. I believe it was most of the train, but it wasn't like nothing we had in years past. But yeah, like I said, we get people that ask us 6 months out at a time, "Hey, looking forward to Mystic Timbers Polar Plunge." So yeah, it's become a fan and guest favorite, and it's kind of grown into a yearly tradition.
All right. So I have to ask though. It's Winterfest. It's can be very, very cold. So what inspired the idea of riding Mystic Timbers at Winterfest in summer attire?
So, one of my buddies actually had the idea of doing something. I'm like, okay, well, we try to do meetups like spring, summer, and fall, right? We do opening weekend, we'll do sometime during the summer, and then we'll try to do a Halloween haunt one. But we didn't have nothing in the winter. So we're like, okay, well, what can we do? Okay, like we can get people to meet up, that's no problem, but how can we make it different than just meeting up and riding a ride? So why not do the Mystic Timbers Polar Plunge? Let's get a group of crazy people together and people stare. Trust me, people
Well,
definitely
I can imagine.
people definitely are like, what are they doing? Especially it's funny because when we all meet up, we all meet in front of the Mystic Timber sign, and then we all just start taking our clothes off, with our summer clothes underneath, and people just stare at us like, what the heck are they doing? But once they see what we're doing, I got people that help out with video. Last year, my buddy Kent helped video us walking into the lines, and he waited at the exit, got us
Yeah.
going off and coming back. Yeah, it's pretty fun and crazy thing, and it's just become a tradition.
So, what's the vibe like when a group of fans show up in shorts and a t-shirt in December?
It all depends on the weather. So last year, I believe this was the photo from last year. We were. It was the coldest it's been yet. I forget the temperature. I would have to go back and look because I know I took a screenshot somewhere of it. It was the coldest year, and I don't know if you can tell on the ground there. Again, I believe this was last year's. there was a little bit of rain or ice rain one year, but the vibe really depends on the weather. The one year it was nice, everyone was in a good mood and talking, and we're all just like it's a regular summer day, chatting and waiting for an amazing ride. Versus when it's 20, well, not 20 because I'm a Mystic, can't run in 20-degree weather, but when it's like 30 degrees and if it's ice raining a little bit or misting, whatever, everyone's quiet, they're all shivering, and we're just like, okay, come on, why isn't the line moving? But we're all there to do one thing, to have a good time, and hopefully no one gets frostbite.
Yeah, hopefully nobody gets frostbite. But how does the employees and the guests react when you guys show up and you're, in t-shirts and tank tops and shorts and stuff when it's so cold out?
So usually the greeter is like, are you guys crazy? No, and then the funniest reaction is when we get up to the separator, and the separator is like, how many? And I say 18 or 20 or however many people we have, and they're like, really? And like they only got room for like 4 people, so you see a whole herd of people standing on the edge of the steps letting people come to fill the train up. And then like when they ask how many seats I need, I say I need one train.
Mm.
So like usually like the energy in the station, because I got friends at the exit. We're all hyped up. The driver is like, "Oh, let's go, let's go!" And then like one year, when one of my friends was driving the coaster, so he gave us a shout out, and that was pretty cool. And yeah, like the vibe in the station when we're finally up there is just like none other.
So why Kings Island and why specifically Mystic Timbers?
Well, when we started this, why Kings Island? Because it's 20 minutes from my house. And, Mystic Timbers at the time, besides Flight of Fear, was the only coaster open that we wanted to do. And at the time, it was only a couple of years old. Again, nothing like this has been done as far as I know, at least at Kings Island. And yeah, Kings Island is usually the central place. We had someone drive a couple states away, um,
Mm.
one year, just to come visit us.
So, Josh, I mean, it does get cold. You mentioned the different temperature ranges and that. But what is the toughest part of the challenge if you want to take part in this?
So the toughest part of the challenge, if you want to take part in this, is pretty much just braving the cold. The first couple of years we had, it wasn't really a rule, but people just did it. You wait in line with no jacket, no hat, no gloves, no boots, no sweatpants, nothing. But then over the years, people are like, okay, we'll wait in line. We will have our jacket with us. So then when we get up to the station, they'll just toss it over whoever's waiting at the exit. um but yeah, it's pretty much like a first come first serve thing, and if you feel like braving the cold and hanging out with a bunch of crazy enthusiasts, then we're your go-to.
So have there been any memorable moments, like funny reactions, snow flurries, first timers who weren't prepared, anything like that that comes to mind?
I forget what year it is. I usually post all the videos on our YouTube. There was one year where I believe, and again, I could be wrong. It was the person's first time ever riding Mystic,
Mhm.
and they followed us for a while. They happened to be in town that week, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we're seeing you guys are doing this. We wanted to join." Um, and yeah, as far as reactions, it's always the greeter. It's always, sorry, the separator. The separator's reactions when I say I need a full train, like whoever's working it, they're like, really? And then there was one year it was flooring out. That was fun. It was nice, so you couldn't really see the snow falling. But yeah, it's always a good time.
All right. Now, say it happens to be a nice day in December and it's like 68 to 72, and Ryan and I decide, hey, let's do this. Um, how would you sign up for? Or do you have to sign up, or can just anybody just show up and take part? Do you have to register? I mean, what's the situation there?
So, as always, obviously, I'm not affiliated with Kings Island or Six Flags in any way, shape, or form. If you follow us on Facebook, we do have an event thing on there. You just go to our Facebook, click events, and you click you want to attend. I try to post as much as I can on there, like, hey, we're meeting up here. Hey, this is um whatever's happening is happening. It's completely free, but obviously we don't pay for your admission to Kings Island. So if you're not a pass holder, obviously buy a pass or get a ticket for that day. But yeah, it's a first come first serve thing. Just come, join, hang out, stay for the WinterFest, especially if you've never been. The parade's awesome. The 12 Days of Christmas train ride is awesome. Usually afterwards, one year we all ate dinner at Brew House, but sometimes depending on the day, it's crowded. So, but yeah, it's completely
Yeah.
free as long as you obviously have paid admission or a pass to Kings Island.
So, what would you say that this, being kind of a crazy thing, it's something that a lot of people wouldn't tolerate, probably me included, but it's very successful. What do you think that says about, the passion and the camaraderie of the coaster enthusiast community?
So the fact that people message me 6 months in advance saying, "Hey, when can I put this on my calendar? Hey, what weekend are you guys possibly looking at doing this?" So I know I'll be off work, I'll be in town, whether I'm 20 minutes away or 2 hours away or two states away. That tells me that the it's out there. Like, people want events like this. People want to have this experience. They want to ride a roller coaster or any ride in their summer clothes in the middle of winter. So the passion is definitely there. And the reaction we get afterwards, I always send everyone the link to the video, the photos we take, the fun pics if they don't have fun pics. And overall, it's just a good thing. And we've had people return year after year, and they look forward to the next.
So, how would you say that uh, this event connects with the larger FYE coaster community and its mission?
So not everybody is going to want to do this. I literally just make a group, or sorry, I make an event on Facebook, and I'll share from here and there. Especially like this time of year when we're super close. We're about a month ish out. Um, I'll start sharing more, posting more, doing a countdown, and people just they come and want to have a good time and ride in September's.
Riding Mystic Timbers, I like that.
Josh, yeah, Josh, I wish you'd been doing this during my PR days at Kings Island, because this is something to me that I could just imagine, with the right photo and everything like that. It would be like on, CBS News, USA Today, New York Times, all those kind of places. I mean, it seems like a great, photo, video opportunity for the news media. But um, when you look back at your time doing this, I mean, what in your mind, how does it really help, create awareness for FYE coasters and, get more people to learn about your channel?
So as far as getting our name out there, I have in the past, like, I do research, kind of, if you want to say. I will log out of YouTube, open up like a different browser or whatever, and I will just search. I'll search like riding roller coasters in the winter, or crazy coaster enthusiasts ride roller coaster when summer close, and like, surprisingly, certain search terms will draw those videos and like the analytics to my channel. So as far as getting people wanting to, like, I'll say, hey, like, who are these FYE people? I try to be different than the next person. We're all in this because we love roller coasters, we love theme parks, not just Kings Island, not just Cedar Point, everything, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, everything. And so in my opinion, it's no competition. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. And if people like what we do and I see a tick in numbers, and again, I'm not in it for the numbers at all, but when I say, oh, hey, like, this event or this whatever we did reach X amount of people, like, hey, we need to keep doing this, or we need to do this and add some to it. It's just, be different than the next person is what I like to do, and that makes us stand out. And then, like, it's to the point now where I can go to Kings Island and I can be bundled up in a jacket with my hood on, and someone gets a glimpse of me and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're Josh, right?" And yeah, so over the years, it's definitely it's been nice to see something I once dreamt, I guess you could say, of become a reality. And it's nice. It's nice all the time. Actually, before I hopped on here tonight, I had some guy message me on Facebook, said, "Hey, can you get on my TikTok and repost one of my videos, because I follow your channel and I love what you do, and I would like to get my name out there." So that's what I did. It's just small things like that. Um, we were at Kings Island on Saturday, and this mom and her two kids, or maybe one kid and her friend, I don't know, came up to me and they were chasing me around the park for my Instagram stories. And they're like, "I've been such a big follower of you. Can I get a photo with you?" And the mom's like, "You just made her day." So it's just stuff like that. It means a lot, and I enjoy doing it.
Do you have any surprise or twist planned for this year's edition of the Coaster Polar Plunge?
Honestly, no. No, I do not. Just hoping the weather's nice.
Yeah, that would be nice for you. You do it at Kings Island, you ride Mystic Timbers, but your community is spread out. It's not just the locals, that live around Kings Island. Do you ever see expanding this to other parks? Kennywood, for example, has a Christmas event. The Jackrabbit is open uh, during their event. Do you ever see, like, okay, we did it at Kings Island, and then next weekend we're going to try this at Kennywood? Something to kind of expand on the event.
So I'm always looking forward to expanding. Not just for events like this. I have put out there, hey, if you are someone that can operate a smartphone with a camera and can take pictures and videos, and you want to, you know host something under the FYE name, just whatever, just reach out to me. But as far as, like, say we did go to Kennywood and do it on Jackrabbit, it's more about availability, making sure I can travel there. Hey, is it going to be snowing? Is the park going to close early? There's just all that to factor in. I feel like I know Kings Island well enough and the weather around here that I'm certain that we can do it on this day every year and not have any issues. Um, and I could be 100% wrong, but I would love to do it at other parks sometime. Make a whole weekend out of it. Maybe do two or three parks. Hit up some of, like, um Kennywood or Hershey, or even go down south and do some of the parks down there. But it's definitely been a thought in my head. But again, it's all on, it takes a toll on my personal life, work, just life in general, making sure, like I said, I got the time off and I can make the accommodations to travel.
Do you have any advice for anybody that might be attending for the first time?
Um, just like the event for the first time.
Well, the winter plunge. Like, if somebody said, like, "Hey, is there anything I should know about this?" What would you tell them?
I would tell them to again, it all depends on weather. One year it was like 60 degrees, last year it was 30 degrees. So I would just tell them, come in knowing you're going to be cold and you might get frostbite afterwards, but in the end, you will have fun. No, we're all on the same page. We're all there to do one thing. We're all one big family. We're all in it to ride Mystic Timbers and make people look at us like we're crazy.
You are crazy, I can tell you that. So,
Well,
Josh,
thank you.
yeah, we really, I think this is, this is a great event that you do.
Well, thank you. I
The
appreciate that.
people that have taken part in it, tell me that it's one of their favorite things that they do every year is do the Polar Plunge on Mystic Timbers. But Ryan and I, we'd love to, talk with you more. But thanks for joining us. Enjoyed the
Yeah.
conversation.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. And if you happen to be at Kings Island and you see a bunch of crazy people riding a roller coaster with shorts and t-shirt, that will be us.
So one more time, where can they find you and your socials and more information on the Polar Plunge?
Everything is on Facebook. Facebook, search FYE Coasters. We got decent amount of following on there, and click events. And I believe it's the only thing I have on there right now. Just because yeah, and then everything's there. We'll post the meetup times, what time we're doing the photo, and I will post all the photos on there after the event has concluded.
Perfect. Well, thanks for being with us, Josh. We look forward to it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. You guys keep doing the great work that you do.
All right, thank you.
Always great having Josh on the show. But Josh mentioned as soon as he came on that he's one of our members. So let's take this opportunity to thank our Prestige members. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Mandy, 1983, Lil Mac, 21, Brian Hauser, 330T, Aaron Bort, Jacob Fix, Damon Barnes, Dakota Cole, Eric Grau, Justin Jackson, Songstress Miku, Medic 302, Eastern Coaster, Guys and Girls, Justin Y, and Mike Garrett, and Galaxy B-Boy. I want to thank you guys so much for being supporting Tower Topics at the highest level. That's the Prestige level. If you want to be involved in Tower Topics, there's a link in the description. Members get early access to the videos, exclusive content, exclusive live streams, and some tiers you can get some free stuff. Memberships start at just $2.99. Less than a cup of coffee in today's world.
Yep, that's right. So mark your calendars. You're listening to this podcast. You're a fan of Tower Topics, obviously. So mark your calendars, December 20th. We're going to do a Tower Topics meetup at Kings Island's WinterFest. We're going to have an itinerary out very soon. We're just waiting on Kings Island to publish some more details. It might have already dropped by the time this episode goes in terms of what the show times that are. But we're talking about ice skating on the Royal Fountain as a group, riding the train, riding the carousel, watching the Tinker Show, and just having a great time, with everybody that is fans of Kings Island. Everybody has that same kind of a like-minded passion. Getting those folks together has always been a lot of fun for Ryan and I when we've done the previous meetups, whether that's been Stricker's Grove, the now defunct Entertainment Junction, Scene 75 in Dayton. So December 20th, Kings Island's WinterFest. And once we get a few more details about certain times of shows and that at Kings Island, we will post an event on our Facebook group. Just search Tower Topics on Facebook. And if you're not already a member of the group, please join.
Yeah, we'd love to see you on there. All right. We'll be right back with the listener questions.
And now it's time for the Tower Topics listener questions.
All right. First listener question. It is from Tanner from Oakley, Ohio. He said, is the racer a front or a back of the train ride?
For me, the preference is to ride toward the back of the train. My favorite seat on the ride is car 5, front row. So 51, if you work the ride, it would be identified as 51. That's, my favorite place to ride, but I think it's a great front seat ride too. Seat, 2 is excellent. But for me, I like if, when I'm in the back of the train, when you get to the top of the lift, the way you get pulled over and then you get a really good view out, of the rest of that fourth hill that you're going to be climbing up in that. So I would recommend, that for me, the best place to ride is toward the back, but everybody's mileage varies. There's some that say they like the middle of the train, some that like the back seat, some that say they get the best airtime second to back. I think the second row overall, I think that's where you're going to get maybe the best airtime that I've experienced, but I don't know, but everybody's mileage, differs on that. Ryan, what's your thoughts?
I like the back, especially now with the Gravity Group Precision Cut stuff. You can finally get airtime on the ride, and it's way better in the back. So as far back as possible for me would be my answer.
Okay.
All right. Rich from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He said, I've been visiting Kings Island. I'll be visiting Kings Island for the first time on November 29th. After listening to your podcast, you've convinced me that WinterFest is a can't miss experience. Quick question. Is there anywhere in the park I can grab a Miller Lite?
I don't know. I would imagine they have it. I don't know though for sure. Maybe in the list, in the comments, if you know that they have Miller Lite, please leave it there. I've not purchased alcohol at Kings Island. So I don't know what they have at any of the locations.
I know they have Budweiser. I don't know if they necessarily
Well, you got to have
exclusively have
Budweiser, Ryan. It's the king of beers. You got to have
Well,
Budweiser.
right. But Miller Lite is the queen of beers, and the king should have a queen, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
But
I don't
no,
know. That's a question that, it's not something I can answer.
I'm not sure that I've ever drank a beer at Kings Island before, come to think of it. I'm not a big
Yeah.
beer guy, full disclosure, but I don't know if
Yeah,
I've ever drank a beer at Kings Island before.
Yeah. So let's help Rich out, and in the comments, if the park does serve Miller Lite, where Rich can find it.
Right. Terry from Corbin, Kentucky said, which is the better Christmas event? Kings Island's Winterfest or Dollywood's Smoky Mountain Christmas?
That's a loaded question. Love them both. They're different, though. I think Kings Island, to me, for sure, is the more picturesque event. When you enter the park, you can't beat that look, that feel when you come into the park, and all the lights and everything on International Street, the buildings, the Eiffel Tower, transformed into a 314-foot Christmas tree. You've got, guests skating on the Royal Fountain. I mean, that is really, really hard to beat. But I think, what I see between the two events is Kings Island is more of an event that's taking place during the holidays, and Dollywood is your Christmas event, because there's a lot at Dollywood that really captures the spirit of the season. What the true meaning of Christmas is. You're going to see more of that at Dollywood. With the shows and that you're going to see at Kings Island. Both excellent events, can't go wrong. You have a lot of rides open at both events. So if you're interested in rides, you have that. I think food wise, Dollywood has the edge. Kings Island has some really good, a couple of really good items that I really like. The turkey ball at Grain and Grill, outstanding. Recommend that to anybody that likes turkey. We have the meatloaf burger, which was one of my favorite things last year was the meatloaf burger. But you also have a lot of things at Dollywood. There's just I think more seasonal type options on the menu. Where at Kings Island during Winterfest, you do have some seasonal items at the different locations, but it's not a real deep lineup at any location. Where Dollywood, it's a deep lineup. So, like I said, you can't go wrong with either. The similarities between the two, they're different. Both have a little bit of a different vibe to it, but both spectacular events, and right there, as the best in the country for theme park holiday events.
I think that from an entertainment standpoint, Dollywood does have that big signature show in the Celebrity Theater. But besides that, I think Kings Island has more like clean cut entertainment where it's like this is an actual show rather than a performance. So I give Kings Island the edge for that. I think that International Street alone looks better than most of Dollywood. But now Dollywood does, like, it's got its own picturesque, no matter what season it is, and putting lights on it certainly doesn't hurt. But for the demographic that listens to this podcast, I think it is not for nothing that Dollywood does run all their rides. So if that's important to you, then you might like that event better too.
Yeah, I think too, like there's, Kings Island, it's that International Street photo is your hero shot. At Dollywood, at night, the train, when it's sitting in the depot with all the lights and everything on that, that is just a stunning visual, with the train. And to ride that train at night during the holidays is, one of the best winter experiences that you're going to have at a theme park. So, I mean, but like Ryan said, you're going to see a lot more of the rides, just about all of them are open at Dollywood. But, like I said, you try them both, where you're located there in Corbin, Kentucky. You're not going to have much more distance, whichever one you choose to go to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they're both excellent events. It's kind of like picking between your kids, So it's
Yeah,
not
but like I
fair
said,
to me.
one feels like a holiday event, one feels like a Christmas event. I mean, there is a difference,
Mhm.
and I I love both of them, and I wish I lived kind of in the middle, between the two, so I could go to Dollywood, just as often as I'm able to get to Kings Islands.
Yeah, great question, Terry from Corbin, Kentucky. If you've got your own questions, you can send them to us via email, hosts@towertopics.com. That's HOSTS at towertopics.com. Your first name, the city you're from, as well as your question, comment, concern. Don't want to do that? You can send us a text or a voicemail to 513-399-7538. That's 513-399-7538. If you send us a text, we may read it. If you send us a voicemail, we may play it on the air. You never know. I'm Ryan. That's Don. This is Tower Topics.